Tell you that 90% of genetically engineered cultivation is in the Americas today, would you believe me? Although you may not, it is a fact, and these crops are growing at a dangerously high rate. Greenpeace released a documentary stating these facts, as well as the fact that these crops are contaminating others, and fast. Genetically modified foods are slowly taking over all other types of foods, such as conventionally grown and organically grown. So today, these are the three main points that I will be covering. What genetically modified crops are, mixing genes between plants and animals, and as well as Prop 37, along with other bills trying to get rid of and or label GMOs. As far as I understand, not many people know what a GMO is. A genetically modified organism, or GMO, is an organism whose genetic material is altered using genetic engineering techniques. In other words, something that has been genetically modified to do something it normally would not do on its own. Genetically modified crops are a big part of this, and can be a bit confusing. But these main points will explain them to you in a way that will be easy to understand. There are two basic categories of genetically modified crops. First are herbicide-resistant crops. These crops have been made to withstand applications of chemical herbicide without killing the plants, but keeping the insects off. Second is pesticide-producing crops. These crops secrete their own insecticide, so when the insects eat the plant, the chemical goes inside of them, causing their stomachs to explode. This keeps their crops from being destroyed. The process of gene splicing creates organisms that were not already part of the evolutionary chain. They have even gone so far as to putting plant genes into animal genes and animal genes into plant genes. They can mix and match all of these genes together and form something that is in high demand. For example, putting cow genes into a pig. This makes it so that the pig has a cow hide, which is in more demand than what a pig hide would be. When genes are spliced together in this process, it changes throughout the DNA of the plant and animals, therefore completely changing the genetic signature of the plant or animal, making it unrecognizable to our human digestive system. Because of illnesses and allergies that have been triggered by these plants and animals, our bodies do not recognize this DNA, and there are many bills out there trying to get rid of and or label genetically modified foods. There's a growing push for public knowledge in labeling genetically modified products. Prop 37 has been denied many times because companies have patents and lobbyists on their seeds, so they feel as they do not have to admit to anything. But there is current legislation in the state of Washington to have genetically modified foods labeled. They are fighting hard to have their Bill 522 passed. One of the biggest reasons legislation is not passing is because of lack of public knowledge about genetically modified foods and their relation to many health problems. But now that we've learned what there is to know about GMOs, why don't we recap on what we talked about? Genetically modified organisms are a big part of food allergies and other things that are related to health problems. Plants and animals have their genes spliced together to create something that normally would not happen in evolution by itself. And there are many people trying to get all of these things noticed. So just remember, next time you go to the store, think twice about what you're buying. Who knows what kind of gene there could be in that apple you're buying.